Hi there. Today we're going to discuss Lesson 4, Reteach from Scale Drawings. Our first question is to find the actual distance between each pair of cities, right down to the nearest tenth if necessary. Um, so here we have our scale. 1 centimeter equals 20 miles. So we know that we're going to set up centimeters over miles. And we know it's 1 centimeter for 20 miles. And the map distance, which is on our scale, is 6.35. And we don't know the actual distance, so we're going to call it x. Next step we're going to do is show our cross product. So 1 times x equals 20 times 6.35. Then we're going to multiply that out. So 1 times x is just x, or 1x, but it's understood. And then this is going to equal 127 miles. Okay, example number 2. Our scale is 1 centimeter equals 5 miles. So again, we're going to set up in words, centimeters over miles. So we have 1 over 5. Our map distance is 15.6 centimeters goes on top. Again, we're going to show our cross product. So 1 times x equals 5 times 15.6. And that's going to equal 1x is just x, and that is 78 miles. Okay. Here's example number 3. Our scale is 2 centimeters equals 15 miles. Again, centimeters over miles. So we have 2 over 15. And they gave us 16.27 as our map distance. And we're going to put that over x because we need to know the actual distance. So showing our cross products, 2 times x equals 15 times 16.27. Let's go ahead and multiply that out. 2 times x is 2x. And then 15 times 16.27 is 244.05. Okay, to solve this, we're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, 2 divided by 2 cancels to 1, so that's x equals 122.025, but they asked you to round to the nearest tenth. That's this place right here. So the 2 makes the 0 stay the same. So x is going to be 1.2, oops, 1.22.0. Okay, so 122.0 miles. Oops, I think I wrote that in the wrong space. Yes, I did. Okay. 122.0. All right, so here's our next example, number 4. Again, centimeters over miles is what they gave you. 1/2 centimeters over 20 miles, and it's 11.73 centimeters that goes on top. And let's put an x for our unknown. So let's set up our cross products. 1/2 times x equals 20 times 11.73. Okay, so now we're going to multiply our cross product. So x, 1/2 x is going to equal 20 times 11.73 is 234.6. Now to solve this, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal because our coefficient is a fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So 2 times 1/2 cancels out to 1 whole, so that's x. And multiplying 234.6 times 2 is 469.2. So the answer is 469.2 miles. And this was also miles. Okay, so let's move on. We've got some other questions. These are 2 parts. You have to find the length of each object, and then you have to find the scale factor. So when we're doing these problems, when we're doing scale drawings, you can actually set up the ratio however they're given to you, or you can just consider it that it is the scale over the actual. Okay. Either way, or you can just say inches to feet, feet to inches, whatever. So here, this scale is for every 1 inch, it is 6 inches in the actual. So if an automobile is 16 feet long, um, you're going to have to definitely do some converting because this is in inches and this is in inches. So 16 feet long, we have 12 feet equals 1 foot. So if something is 16 feet long, you're going to multiply 16 times 12, and that's 192. So the scale drawing, we don't really know, so we're going to call that X, but we do know that it's actually 16 feet or 192 inches. So just make sure that you're very careful. All right, so let's set up our cross products. 6 times X equals 1 times 192. Let's go ahead and multiply that out. So 6 times x is 6x. 1 times 192 is 192. To solve this, we're going to divide both sides by 6. Okay, 6 by 6 cancels by 1. And then so 192 divided by 6 equals 32. And our unit on top was inches. Now the scale, I'll just kind of put this off to the side. The scale, you're going to set up the ratio of the two units, so 1 inch over 6 inches. And our goal is to make sure that they both have the same units, which they do. So the inches divided by the inches cancels out, so it's just 1/6. Okay, it doesn't happen all the time where they have the same unit on the top and the bottom, so just be very careful with that. All right, so here's a pond 85 feet across. 1 inch equals 4 feet. Again, the scale over the actual is inches over feet. So for 1 inch, it's 4 feet. They gave you 85 feet, so that goes on the bottom. And we're just going to write an X on top because we don't know what it is. Okay, cross products. 4 times X equals 1 times 85. Okay, we now multiply, so 4x equals 85. Let's solve by dividing by 4 on each side of the equation. We are now left with 21.25, or you can just say it's 21 and 1/4, and the unit we're looking for is inches. So that's our missing answer. Now we want to talk about the scale. Okay, the scale, we know that we're going to set up the ratio. So 1 inch equals 4 feet. Notice that we have two different units, so we have to convert it to the smallest one. What you have to remember is that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So I'm actually going to convert the feet to inches. So we have 1 inch on top. 4 times 12 is 48. So I now have both inches on the top and the bottom. My inches divide out, so my scale is going to be 1 over 48. All right, this is my scale. All right, here's my next question. Almost done, guys. A parking lot 200 meters wide. It's 1 centimeter to every 25 meters. Okay, again, scale over actual. We've got centimeters over meters. So it's 1 over 25. And now they give you 200 meters. So that's going to go on the bottom. And on top, we're just going to have our x. Okay, so now we're going to just do our cross product. So 25 times x, and then 1 times 200. Let's go ahead and multiply. So we've got 25x equaling 200. Let's divide on both sides by 25 to solve for x. We're now left with 8 centimeters. Okay, so our first answer is 8 centimeters. Now we want to do our scale. Again, we want to set up a ratio, so 1 centimeter over 25 meters. Again, we don't have the same units, so we have to convert to the smaller one. If you didn't know, 1 meter equals 1,000 centimeters. So 1 centimeter stays on top. If we have 25 meters, it's 25 times 1,000. So it's 2,000, I'm sorry, 100. 100. Oops. 100 meters. Ooh, let me just erase this. 100. So 25 times 100 is 2,500 centimeters. Now we have both centimeters on the top and the bottom, so they cancel out. So our scale is 1 over 2,500, and that's our scale. Okay, so here's our last question. A flag 5 feet wide, 2 inches equals 1 foot. Okay, again, scale over actual. So it's inches over feet. So 2 inches equal 1 foot. And you're looking for something that is 5 feet wide. All right, now we have our proportion. Let's set up our cross products. 1 times x equals 2 times 5. Let's go ahead and multiply that. X equals 10. And we're looking for inches, so that one's pretty easy. But now we also have to do our scale. So our scale, we have 2 inches for 1 foot. Notice that they're not the same. So we're going to convert to the smaller one. 12 inches equals 1 foot. So let's go ahead and convert this. So inches stay the same. 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay. So now we're left with 2 inches over 12 inches. The inches are going to divide out. I'm left with 2 over 12, which will simplify down to 1 over 6. So 1 over 6 is our scale. Okay. Hope that video was helpful. Thank you. Bye.